first of all, we have what you call an internationalization global framework, and activities are centered on at home and as well as abroad or cross-border activities. But we have certain considerations that involve three different approaches. So you have an interdisciplinary approach, you have a multi-sectoral, and also a multinational approach. And of course, the agendas take into consideration both regional as well as global concerns. The very first concern is about reputation building and particularly branding. I think that everyone should really be involved in this. And so everyone needs to start on the same page in terms of understanding what internationalization means to them. And also to understand that it's not just about involvement, but that there are many platforms that are made available to them to participate in internationalization. And I think if there's one thing that the pandemic taught us, is that the virtual platform actually is an alternative. So it's paved the way for blended approaches also that combine both face-to-face as well as the virtual platform. Another concern is about getting everyone on board with that common understanding that I mentioned earlier, but also the fact that there's recognition, there's a lot of excitement about internationalization because it means traveling, right? But internationalization isn't just about traveling. It's primarily about, breaking barriers across different cultures and learning more about people from different parts of the world. And this doesn't necessitate just traveling. Of course, we have to consider the carbon footprint as part of that. And, with the virtual platform, which I mentioned earlier, you can actually, get a feel of another culture through that. De La Salle is part of an international network of schools that has a presence in every continent except Antarctica. And this is the International Association of Lasallian Universities all over the world. So there are 64 of us at the tertiary level. But if you count all our schools, including the primary and secondary ones, that's over 1,000 all over the world. So it's quite an incredible network. And in the Philippines alone, we have 16 schools at the tertiary level. So for the entire archipelago, from Luzon, Visayas to Mindanao, there's a LaSalle school there. We're very strong in a number of multilateral platforms that I actively participate in also. So it's not just the university, but myself, because our Ministry of Education deploys me for a lot of these. Like you probably heard of UMAP and AIMS, and I sit on various committees and task forces for them. And I've also been behind the encouragement of developing alumni networks on these different platforms so that you have a buildup of ASEAN exchange students and they get to know each other, they continue the friendships beyond the exchange program they went through or whatever summer camp they were a participant to. So the whole thing moves forward. It's being paid forward and goes beyond simply, the time that they were in school, but, continues on to them as working professionals in the future. We really are very selective about who we want to partner with. Right now, we're heavy on research collaborations and double degree programs, no? Because the whole point is that you want to improve not just on academics, but also on teaching and social engagement. And so the agenda is more than just concentrating on the professional aspects, but also the human development aspects. Students should really cultivate not just expertise in their respective disciplines, but they should also be engaged so that they don't just become professionals who do very well in their fields, but are also connected with what's going on nationally as well as globally, and they become part of some major objective that aligns with the UN SDGs. Right now, we're looking forward to November 22 and 23, which is Times Higher Education Campus Live Asia. So I think the first one was held in Singapore last year. So we're just going to be the second one to host, but we're going to be the first in the Philippines. But next year, we actually may have two summer programs. One is a collaboration with 10 schools all over the world. And this will be participated in with staff, not just students. But the bigger project or bigger summer program is with the ASEAN University Network. Right now, the original collaboration is with NUS, Chula, and us starting it off. So we're going to host about 250 students that come from all 10 countries in ASEAN. So this is a rather ambitious project, but the summer program hopes to be one that can be credit-bearing. We actually already have a template for this, which we had designed for an earlier summer program, which we hope to expand for this activity next year. But of course, THE Campus Live Asia in November 1st.